Hey, what's up, guys? Give me 1 second. I'm getting ready to do a tutorial to show some people how I make my soap cozies and dishcloths. I just need to make sure I got the link right. And so give me 1 second. I just need to make sure okay, I think I got it right. All right. So let me go ahead and post to Instagram so people can find it. So, I have been making dishcloths and soap cozies using the bush stitch. So I'll tell you guys the recipe for how to make these, and if you whether you crochet or not, um, you can at least point crafters in your life to the video because they make a real pretty cloth. It could be a dishcloth or a washcloth. This is cotton. This is the premier just cotton that you can get from the dollar store. Um, it comes in several colors. This is the Christmas one I found. It was only two of them, and you can get two dishcloths from each skein. So yeah, and so then this was some leftover scrubby from scrub. What is it called? Scrubs that I can't think of the name of that stuff, but it's made by Hobby Lobby. That rough dishcloth yarn. I just held it double with some cotton from We Crochet, which is Knit Picks. So I just held it double with that to make a heavier one, and then I put like a little drawstring on them so that you can close them up. And this is one of the wider ones. You can put a bigger bar soap in this one, and this is just like the Yardley's um, soap from the dollar store. I love this soap. And so this is like I made this basically to fit these smaller bars of soap. And then it has a drawstring as well. And you can just, close it up. So it's like, soap saver, a little scrubby. But it's cotton. So it's not going to be rough on your skin. Whereas if you use this one, you could use this one to exfoliate because it is actually that more rougher, scrubby yarn with the softer cotton yarn. So I'm going to show you guys how to make this one right here. This one, you just use more stitches to make it bit wider. That's all you do is just use more stitches. Okay, so let's get started so I can show you guys. And then I have, this is like one of the larger bars of soap from the dollar store. As you can see, it's bigger than this one. So, and you can see it fits into the larger pouch. Okay. And all I did was I just added more stitches, and this one was actually a square and I seamed it up the size. But if you want it to be bigger, you just add more stitches. And I'm gonna, yeah. It's been a while since I did a tutorial, so y'all just give me a moment and I'll get started. All right, so um the pattern is made in the round. You can tell from the bottom. I started just like I was gonna make a hat. I started with a chain 4 and I joined it in a circle. I put 15 half double crochets in that circle, and that's for the small one. If you want to make one that's larger, I would put 18 to 20 depending on how big a bar of soap. If this was something like this, see how this is shorter but it's wide, then I would put 20. I will start with 20. And you can always tweak it as you need it for the soap. So if you find that 20 is too wide for that, then if you have a bar soap like this one is even wider. And so my friend Sharon made this one. So you could put that other handmade soap in that. And you can just use them for different things. Or if you're one of those people that save the soap slivers, then you could add a bunch of soap slivers inside this thing and stuff it as far as you want it to get the most out of your soap. So basically, I'm gonna use this yarn, and I won't be able to zoom in or anything like that because I'm just using the basic webcam on StreamYard, and it doesn't have that functionality that allows you to zoom in and zoom out. Which that would be nice if that's one of the things that they finally did. So you're just gonna do your slip knot, chain 4, join it in a circle, and I'm using an H hook. For those of you who want to know what hook size I'm using a Susan Bates H hook. I prefer the Susan Bates style hooks, but that's just me. You use what you're comfortable with, and I'm chaining up to start with. And I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to put 15 half double crochets in this circle. Let me move this out my way. Okay. And this cotton yarn is a little splitty, just so y'all know. I think that's 13, 14, and 15. And to join it at the top, since I really don't have, it's not a hat, so I really don't have to be all that, specific with the count and whatnot. So I'm just going to join at the top like that. I'm not going into the stitch next to it or anything like that. I'm just going to join it at the top. And I'm going to chain up 1. And then when I come back around, we're just going to keep going in a continuous circle. We're not going to be keeping track of where we started. It's not necessary for these dishcloth cozies. So I'm just going to yarn over, and I'm just going to do half double crochets all the way around until this is as long as I need it to be for my bar soap to fit inside of it. And that's how I make these. And it doesn't take long either. So you make it as long as you need it to be to cover up your bar soap. Just keep going around in a circle. You don't need to keep track of your beginning stitches. You're just going to keep going in a circle, and it's going to make like a little hat shape. You just keep going, guys. And then you'll make the little pouch. And once that pouch is long enough, and we're going to pretend in a couple rounds that it's long enough, I'll show you how I make the area to add the drawstring if you want to add a drawstring to it. But this is a cute little gift that you can give family members. Um, you can use them at church bazaars and whatnot, or donate them to the women's shelters and things like that, the mission homes and whatever you want to do with it. Sell it, I don't care. It's just a little simple, easy pattern that anybody can do, really, if you put your mind to it. It's hard to crochet with my arms resting on this table, so it's slowing me down. So just keep going in a circle. Like I said, you would do this until it's as long as you need it to be. And these are, let me see, they are about, where is the one at on this thing? This way. They're almost 5 inches long, so they're a little over 4 3/4 inches long. The ones that I made, the shorter ones. And like you see, it works up pretty fast. works up very quickly. So you see how fast your little pouch works up? And that's just a couple of rounds and it's already almost 2 inches. So you just, let me see. So the beginning round, so that's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it's about 13 or 14 rounds. It's not exactly precise. Each, depends on what kind of soap you're using. You determine how many rounds you need for your bar soaps that you want to use this for. And so we're pretending that this is as long as we need it to be. So what we're going to do is we are going to skip a half double crochet and we're going to slip stitch into the next half double crochet. And what that does is it kind of evens out your pouch. And then we're going to chain up 2. And this is how we're going to make our spaces to put our drawstrings in. We're going to use double crochets. So to get that height, we're chaining up 2. And it's going to yarn over and we're going to put a double crochet in each of these stitches around. If you need to watch tutorials on how to crochet, I recommend moogly.com. There's several YouTubers that have videos. What's her name? Bob Wilson 123. Beth in Texas. I don't know if her videos are still up, but she used to have a lot. Mikey or yarnspirations.com. So there's several very popular YouTubers who do. So we're back over at the beginning, who do video tutorials on how to crochet and of everything. So now we're back over. This is our chain 2, and I'm just gonna slip under there, and then chain up 1, and then I'm gonna turn my work. I'm gonna go back the other way and do a row of half double crochets, and I'm gonna put a half double crochet in that stitch that's right beside my chain up 1. So I am going to go into that stitch. This is actually your last row of the soap cozy. If you want it to be more decorative, then you could do a shell stitch. I mean, you could do whatever you want to do to your soap cozy to make it more fancy. I'm just doing a basic drawstring style soap cozy. All you gotta do is look at a picture, and like I said, you can customize it for the soap that you want to use it on. Make it bigger, make it more fancy, make it holier, make it more. If you want it to be a more tighter weave, then you could do single crochets with a smaller hook, and then we just join that together. I will snip this off, and then I'll just cut it. I'm yarning over and pull it through that loop, and then I will weave in that end. And so then to make my drawstring, I would chain 36 to 40 chains. So just do another slip knot, chain 36 to 40 chains, or however long you want your drawstring to be. Okay, and then we're just gonna make those tails approximately the same length. Okay, cut that. Then we're going to pull it through the end down here. And you can trim those tails even shorter if you need to. So then you get your needle and pull that through. And so you remember where we made our, this is our end. So this center circle is where our yarn is going to come out of. So we're going to go in through there. And we're going to skip you're going to go behind 2 stitches, over 2 stitches, behind 2 stitches, over 2 stitches, behind 2 stitches, over. And that's how you weave in your drawstring. That's how I weave in mine. Now some people go like behind under for each of the double crochets. Is, to me, that's not necessary, but if that's what you want to do, then that's what you want to do. So I will spread my fingers here and then I will pull, and you can do that until you get your chains about even. It keeps this way, it keeps your drawstring open, and then you can adjust your drawstring until the length of the strings are even. And then you just do a little bow if you like. And there you go. You got your little soap cozy. That's how I make them. It's very simple. Um, so the dishcloths, you're gonna have to chain 26, and it's made using the bush stitch. That's what this is. I chain 26. I'll do this. And then in the third chain from the hook, you're gonna do a double crochet, chain 2, and single crochet in that same space. You're going to do that you're going to skip 2 chains after that. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. So it's easier to count your chains if you're on the bump side of your yarn, which is hard to see with this yarn. So this is the first chain from the hook. There's 2 chains from the hook, and in that third chain from the hook, you're going to do a double crochet, chain 2, and then single crochet in that same space. Then you're going to skip 2, so that's 1, that's 2, and you're going to do 2 double crochet, chain 2, and then single crochet in that same chain space. Skip 2, and you're going to do this all the way to the end. 2 double crochet, chain 2, single crochet, skip 2. Okay, so you do that all the way to the end, and when you get to the end, you're going to chain 2 and turn your work. So I'm at the end. I'm going to chain up 2 and I'm going to turn my work. Now under those chain 2 spaces, that's where I'm going to work my next shell. So I'm just going to yarn over, go under there and do a double crochet, chain 2, single crochet. And then in the next shell, I'm going to do 2 double crochet, chain 2, single crochet. And I'm going to do that all the way across. And I'm just going to rinse and repeat until my dishcloth is as long as I want it to be. You can make your dishcloth as wide as you want it to be. So you can make a towel, hand towel, kitchen towel, whatever you need to do, or however you want it to be. Baby blanket. This is the bush stitch, so I use it for all those things. You can even use it to make clothing. I've made tops with it. I've made jackets with it. It's a fast stitch. It's an easy stitch. So whatever you need to do with it, you can do with this stitch. It's an attractive stitch. It's pretty, and it's fast and easy. So yeah. So that's how I make the dishcloths. And so like I said, this cotton yarn, well, most cotton yarn, unless it's like this cotton from Knit Picks, this cotton that they have is really nice, and it was not splitty at all. Loved it working with it. I ordered some more. Hey, how you doing? And then you just chain 2, turn your work, and do a double crochet, and you just keep doing that stitch until, like I said, it's as long as you want it to be. And it's an easy, fast stitch to use for those washcloths. So you end up with a washcloth that looks like this. So it's a pretty stitch. Washcloth, baby blanket, towel, whatever you want to, dress, shirt, whatever pattern you want to incorporate that into. And it kind of makes its own little scallop border as well. But sometimes I'll still go around the blanket, and because you get these little humps here, you can still go around the blanket and do like a nice little shell stitch in a different color if you wanted to. But so that was what I promised one of my Instagram followers, how I make my little soap cozies. So you can go back and watch this video so you can see how to make the soap cozies, and you can see how to make the dishcloths. I just wanted to show you guys real quick. So yeah. So this one is just a regular soap cozy, and then this was the one with the scrubby yarn. So it's more for exfoliation to get a deep clean to your skin. Um, I wouldn't use it on my face. I would use this more for like body scrubbing. I would If I was you, I would just use something like this, just a regular cotton yarn on your face. I would not add this. This might be a little too scratchy for your face. But yeah, and like I said, this is just regular soap from Yardley's that you can buy at the Dollar Trees. That's all this soap was. Just pull it and get your soap back out. And that's, you can see, um, that's all this was Yardley soap. So, or you could use it for fancy soap, like these right here. Like I said, you can make it. You like the green and white one, the scrubby one? Yeah, and that soap is also that dollar soap, the bigger bars that you can get from the dollar store. And this is some soap that my friend made me. And see, this is that scrubby yarn. See? And so I made this ones just so it could fit, my handmade bars of soap that my friend made. You just pull your drawstring together, and you got your little scrubby. How much? They're only like $3. So yeah. I'm a fast crocheter, so and I do this because it's a good hobby to have. It keeps me calm. Crocheting, knitting, spinning, all this stuff just keeps me really calm, and I don't know. My daughter says I don't charge enough, but my thing is if I sell it, it's out of my house, regardless of how much. So even if it's cheaper than what she thinks it should be, at least it's out of my house, and that way I have room for new things and and new yarns to try. So yeah, but yeah, that's how you make it. That was the little sample I did to show people how I make them. Um, so yeah, that's it, guys. I was just showing this real quick. So thank you for stopping by. Like I said, even if you don't knit or crochet, if you have a friend that crochets, you can say, hey, she spins did a tutorial. I want you to make me some of those. Can you go watch the video and make me some? It's That's all you gotta do. So, and like I said, it's like a little mini hat. Basically, it's like making a miniature hat. It's just for your soap. So I'm gonna go. So y'all take care. Let me get my phone.